Hi everybody, welcome to my guide on skilling effectively with urns, and I just want to start out by saying that a lot of this is personal preference, so feel free to use the methods that work best for you, but these are the ones that I have found are very useful for skilling the most efficiently. I hope you enjoy. Now, the first urn I'll be talking about in this video is the strong woodcutting urn. And really, the only place that I can think of that would be useful to use the woodcutting urn is on the island of Nitiznot, which is where I am right now, cutting Arctic pines. Now, the only reason I say that is because you cannot use woodcutting urns while you're cutting ivy, and these are really the only two places I can think of training woodcutting. You're not just going to be, and if you're really serious about training, then you're probably not going to be cutting yews or magic logs. I mean, if you want to do that, that's completely up to you, but it's not the most efficient ways to train. So, the reason that I keep the urns on the side is because you'll see in a minute I will be using mouse keys to drop the logs, except I won't actually be dropping the logs in a second. Once I get a full inventory, you'll see that I'll be using the wood cutting stump to turn the logs into, actually, oh, bird's nest. I'll be using a papaya. That's nice. Yeah, anyway, back on topic. I'll be using the woodcutting stump to turn the logs into something. I'm not really sure what they're called. I don't come here often. This is probably the first time I've actually done this legitimately. So, if I could just cut these last two logs, one more. And another reason I kind of like using this place, or why this place might be beneficial, is because you can get a pretty decent amount of AFK time. See, you do this right here, and you get 43 experience, or 42.5, making the logs into split logs. And once you have a full inventory of these, you're just going to drop them. And I use mouse keys. Obviously, you don't need to, but it speeds things up pretty gradually. So yeah, this is really the only place I could see using strong woodcutting urns, but I did feel that it was important to say it because this is supposedly the best experience in the game if you are paying attention. And then in the bottom right, I have my beaver pouch. I have a beaver summoned already, and as long as you already have full summoning points at the beginning of the task, then you won't need to bring a potion. So that's really all I can think of adding for this. And the reason that you're not just dropping the logs yourself, just dropping the logs without turning them into these split logs, is because, one, you're probably going to want some time to not be so click intensive, and using this wood cutting stump you get a good 30 seconds of downtime. And two, with the new update of the tool belt, when you click on the log, if you have a tinderbox in your inventory, it actually sets the log on fire. So it makes it kind of difficult to use mouse keys, but if you don't use mouse keys, then go ahead, just drop the log straight up. But I do think that the 30 seconds or so of downtime from woodcutting is pretty good. Okay, the next urn I'll be discussing is the decorated cooking urn. And this one is, for the most part, pretty self-explanatory, just for the reason that if you are in the cooking guild, even if you're not, yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter at all where you are, you only need 2 urns in your inventory at a time, no matter what you're cooking, and the reason you have 2 instead of 1 is when you fill up 1 urn, you don't want to miss any experience from the time that you fill up 1 urn until the time that you have to finish your inventory and then bank and then get out your next urn. So that way when you have 2 urns in your inventory, you never miss any experience, because even when you're cooking rocktails, you'll never fill up 2 full urns in one inventory of fish. So just keep them at it really doesn't matter actually at all. Just keep them anywhere in your inventory, and I like to, when I get 9 in my bank, I just use them. You can use them at your leisure, Even when you just fill up 1, just grab a new one after you teleport it. Cooking is pretty self-explanatory, so that's pretty much that. So this is the inventory I like to use while I'm mining and using my urns, simply for the reason that while I'm using mouse keys while I mine, I won't drop the bottom row, just because mouse keys, when you use them, you never drop the bottom row. So I have plenty of room in the top part of my inventory to store my ores, and that way I can have the entire vertical row and horizontal row on the bottom filled up with urns. So that is 10 urns, and it will take roughly, depending, and it's very dependent on your mining level and whether or not you have a dragon pickaxe, rune pickaxes, and lava titan. You'll generally fill these urns up in anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes, and so it's pretty quick in comparison to using other urns. But the only downside for mining urns is that you don't get a lot of experience. I think it's 625 per urn, which obviously any experience is good experience, but as comparative to other urns, it's not a lot. And the other thing is it's not very fast to fill them up. I mean, it's fast if you know what you're doing, really. But if you're just kind of, especially if you're banking, I strongly recommend either alking, low alking your gold ores, or dropping them, or superheating them and dropping the bars. But you know, that's semantics. So that you can fill them up as fast as you possibly can. And after you finish, after you finish your inventory, meaning all of your urns are filled up, you're going to want to, oh, I kind of blew it. Wow, really trolled. You're going to want to have a dueling ring on and go to Castle Wars, use the bank there, and obviously use all your urns, and then teleport back using a combat bracelet. The final urn that I'll be talking about is the decorated fishing urn, and the best way that I can see to use these is using barbarian fishing. And since the tool belt has now been released, I have my rod inside my tool belt. That sounded kind of naughty. Yeah, so you're just going to be low alking the fish as you get them, and it's really simple. Basically, just keep your settings of your magic book so that low alchemy is over the first spot of your inventory, and as you get the fish, just low alchem, but make sure that you don't alch them too fast, or else you will stop the action of fishing. And yeah. You can have your urns configured in pretty much any way, but you know, I'm just a fan of having my urns like this, as you can probably tell. So yeah, it's really totally up to you. Personal preference is key on this one. So once you have all your urns filled up, you'll just use your duel ring to go to Castle Wars, use all of your urns, and then just come right back. So I hope you guys found this guide useful, and if you have any questions, feel free to post them as a comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If I missed anything, just let me know, and I'll add it in as an annotation or just something like that. You know the deal. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you later.